So if you are a protocol who is that is building and is planning on racing, your tokenomics is the first thing that a VC is going to want to look at, because it tells you a few things, right? It tells you how does the team think about longevity. So like there are a lot of ways to tell if a tokenomics is designed to be a quick grab and go, a quick rug. Maybe they are putting a lot of money into giving a lot of money into the core team members. Maybe they're implementing this really, really aggressive buyback and burn to kind of raise the value of the token. So if that is coupled with a lot of token given to the team members and unlocked very quickly, then you kind of have your answer. So pretty much if you're looking to raise, if you're looking to seriously build a protocol for the long term, how the tokenomics is designed with kind of future accrued value in mind is very important. I cannot go into how your tokenomics should be designed because depending on the nature of your product and your team and how you want to present yourself to the community is all very different. But there are a few core components that are pretty general and applicable. So you want to think about how much of your token, well, first of all, you want to think about the amount, right? The total amount of token that you want to mint. For example, as you all know, one of the magic of Bitcoin is that it is deflationary, right? Because there is a finite amount and it just gets harder and harder to accumulate more Bitcoin. And that is the finite amount of tokens is usually true for most protocols that start to have an initial token event or initial mint event. The rug project that I mentioned previously that caused a stir in Orca's Discord, the stir which was actually caused because they manipulated the total mint amount. So what was communicated as the finite total amount of tokens they would mint was actually more than quadrupled like a few months later. So they created more tokens for themselves. So never do that. So decide on a finite amount so you're answering to your community, you're staying true to your community. And then when you think about that pie of all of the tokens you have, how much of it goes to the community eventually? How much of it goes to the core team? The initial team, I should say, because as you decentralize, it's no longer the core team. It could be an operating team. It could not be that team at all. How much of that is reserved for possible private sale, and how much of that is reserved for bringing in outside help in different ways? So some people would put a really large portion for community and then later on start to submit proposals for the community to vote on to extract portions from that piece of the pie to use for value add. That's one way to do it. It could be a slower way because you have to go through proposal, but it could be a more democratized way to do it.
Democratic, yeah.
But some people kind of design out, they have a slice right from the start and say this piece is reserved for fundraising, or this piece is reserved for bringing in different advisors with different expertise. And it is not uncommon for your tokenomics to be redesigned and to be reshared throughout your 2 years or 3 years or however many long years before you fully decentralize. So I would say my one biggest piece of advice is that crypto and crypto Twitter as a whole, it hates and it loves all very, very quickly. So if you design your tokenomics initially and you feel like after a few months you designed it wrong, it's okay to change it as long as you communicate to your shareholders, your token holders, or your community very sufficiently why you're making that change. And it's also okay for there to be differing voices because at the end of the day, people are more vicious behind a screen if they don't have to be revealing their true identity. So it's also okay to not listen to every single voice. Or it's okay to hear them, but you don't have to listen to every single one of them.